Well, howdy there, folks. James, politicalfriar.com, coming to you again. I got the law hat on, so we're going to do a legal topic today. This is a request from one of the viewers. He made the point that Donald Trump is not so much running for president, but is running to stay out of jail. I know that was Will Hurd's line, and it's actually kind of true. And so the question that was raised is, well, how close are his various criminal trials to being complete, to the point where maybe we could get a guilty or not guilty verdict? And the quick answer is not very close. But the viewer who requested this just asked me to run them down, tell you where in the process sort of their procedural stance is, so that y'all can have a sense of when news might be coming. Uh, and not soon is the quick answer, most likely. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with the Georgia case. You'll recall the Georgia case is out of Atlanta, Fulton County, where Trump and 18 other defendants are accused of conspiring to steal the election through illegal means. And so it's a racketeering charge. And you can go and take a look at the video that I did on that if you want to get more of the legal aspect of the case itself. But where is it now? Well, a number of Trump's co-defendants, four, have pled out and agreed to testify at the trial of the other, uh, I guess that would be 15 defendants. And so this is probably how it'll go for a little while, is as each of these defendants kind of grinds through the process of pretrial motions and discovery, they'll start deciding whether they want to take a deal or not. Many of them will. I expect even most of them will. You might find yourself with Rudy Giuliani and Trump at the end, or maybe some other hanger-ons. But as the process of discovery goes through, you will see a winnowing. But the next big date on the Georgia calendar is actually December 1st. That's where Trump and a number of other defendants will show up to argue their motions, the motions to dismiss on various grounds: First Amendment, presidential privilege. They'll throw everything at the wall, and I don't think any of it will stick. But again, the process or the purpose of all of those motions is not really to win. Win would be great, but the purpose is to delay, and delay they will. So December 1st is the next big thing. They want to have a trial in May. I doubt it. Uh, there's just too much to work through when you've got that many defendants. It'll take time. And time is the thing that Trump is betting on. So at this point, do I think the Georgia case could get done before the election? It could, although it will be tough. I mean, I know they have almost a year to do it, but they have bit off a lot, and now they got to chew it. The next case we'll run down is the classified documents case out of Florida. Eileen Cannon is the judge there, who earlier in this case made a very pro Trump ruling that delayed the case from being brought by some months. She ruled that all of the classified documents that the FBI seized needed to be run through by a special master to determine whether the FBI could use them or not. And it was a very silly ruling. She got smacked down quickly, and that special master never actually did anything because it was dumb. So the next part of that case is going to be, some status hearings. It's not clear that those have even been scheduled at this point, but definitely you will talk about the discovery process and how the trial is going to proceed. In theory, there is a March 1st status conference that will determine the actual setting of the trial date, which is at this point set for May. It's going to get pushed back. It's going to get pushed back for good reasons, for sure, because the evidence in this case is all classified, and that means it has to have some special handling, which means that you're going to end up with opportunities to delay stuff and to argue about stuff, and that's the whole point. The whole point is they want to just keep arguing, because again, it's about delay, not about winning. And so look for that case if Judge Cannon is operating in sort of good faith, and we have to assume that she is. That one should go to trial in the summer. It's not that complicated of a case, it's complicated evidence. And so that's what they'll try to use to delay it. The next case we want to check in on is the DC case. This is where Trump's accused of conspiring with others to overturn the 2020 election, similar issues as the Georgia case, but this case, there's only one defendant. And you have a judge in DC who seems to be interested in moving it along. And the evidence in this case, while voluminous, is not complex. And so there is every reason to believe that the March trial date that has been set could actually hold. And so that might be when you first see Donald Trump in a criminal courtroom is March of next year. There are other things that Trump can do to delay, but most of his legal motions will probably be easily dispensed with. It's going to be a matter of fact in that case, and facts can only really be tried to a jury. So you got to get the trial started. Now he'll try to delay it, but I don't see him having as much luck in D.C. as he will in Florida. So that's probably when you'll first see him. The last criminal case that Donald Trump faces is in New York. It's convoluted how he ended up getting charged for this as a crime. I am on the record saying probably the AG, not the AG, the DA there probably should not be charging Donald Trump with this, in my opinion. But what's next is they're scheduled for February 15th status hearing where the judge will rule on all the pretrial motions, the ones that are motions to dismiss and various discovery motions, barring those dismissals actually going through. The trial's been set for March 25th. It could go off. Again, this is a not particularly complicated case, even factually. I think legally it's touch and go. I mean, the reality is Donald Trump might win on February 15th. Uh, that's not an impossibility. He might just get that thing dismissed. Anyway, that's the rundown of the criminal cases. As you know, his civil fraud case is ongoing. The defense is presenting their case in chief. They're taking their time doing it. Again, the purpose is to delay, because even after the judge brings his findings of facts and conclusions of law, actually imposing any penalties on the Trump organization, it could take years. And if Donald Trump is elected president in the meantime, he could maybe exercise the awesome power of that office to do something about it. It wouldn't be particularly legal, but when was the last time that stopped Donald Trump? After all, he's in 4 trials, criminal trials. So I don't think legalities are the way to uh, guess at what Donald Trump will do. I think you better just start looking at interests. It's not what's right, it's what he can get away with. Anyway, that's my take. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments down below. I really appreciate you taking the time to go through this with me. And if you found any of that useful, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks.